Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract wealth while others struggle their entire lives, even when they work just as hard? Here's the truth. It's not just about luck, a dream job, or some secret millionaire handshake. It's about how they think. The rich don't just make different choices, they see the world through a completely different lens. I used to believe that making money was only about hard work, but then I realized something. Two people can work the same hours in the same city with the same education and still end up in two completely different financial realities. The difference? Their mindset. In this video, we're going to break down 5 powerful ways the rich think differently. These aren't abstract ideas, they're real, actionable mental shifts you can start applying today. By the end, you'll understand why your thoughts shape your bank account and how small shifts in perspective can lead to big financial results. So, grab a notebook because what you're about to hear might just change how you think about money forever. Here's the first big shift. The rich see money as a tool, not just something to earn and spend. Most people think of money emotionally, as something to cover bills, buy stuff, or save just in case. But the wealthy treat money like a lever. It's not just for comfort, it's a tool to create freedom, security, and opportunity. Think about it. The average person gets paid, pays the bills, maybe saves a little, and then spends the rest. End of story. But the rich, they think, how can I make this money work for me? For example, if they receive an extra $1,000, they don't rush to upgrade their phone or buy new clothes. They ask, can I invest this in a skill, a small side hustle, or maybe an asset that grows over time? One of my friends, let's call him Ali, started thinking this way a few years ago. Instead of spending his bonus on vacations, he bought a course to learn digital marketing. That course landed him freelance projects. Within 2 years, his side hustle was generating more income than his day job. That's the power of seeing money as a tool for growth, not just consumption. Here's the key mindset shift. Money is neutral. It doesn't care who you are. It simply amplifies your habits. If you're careless with $100, you'll be careless with $10,000. But if you learn to use small amounts wisely, investing, saving, or learning, you'll handle larger sums effectively when they come. This is why the rich build systems around their money. They budget not to limit themselves, but to free up cash flow for opportunities. They automate savings, invest consistently, and think long-term. If you want to start thinking like this, ask yourself these questions. What can this money build for me in the future? Can I use this to buy an asset, not just an expense? Will this spend bring me returns, financially, professionally, or personally? Because here's the truth, you can't outwork a broken money mindset. Seeing money as a tool puts you in control, and that's the first step to building wealth like the rich. Most people trade time for money. They think, if I work 40 hours, I get paid for 40 hours. The rich, though, they trade value for money. Here's the difference. When you focus on hours, your income has a ceiling. There are only so many hours in a day. But when you focus on value, on solving problems, creating systems, or offering something people truly need, your income potential multiplies. Take an example. A regular employee earns by showing up 9 to 5, but an app developer might work 100 hours building a product and then sell it to thousands of people, generating income again and again. Same time spent, but one focused on output, the other on just hours. This mindset shift also changes how you think about your skills. The rich are always asking, what unique value can I bring? They don't ask, how do I earn more per hour? Instead, they ask, how do I create something that solves a bigger problem? Look at freelancers, for instance. A beginner might charge $10 per hour for design work, but someone with specialized skills and a reputation can charge $500 for a single project, not because they work longer, but because they deliver higher value. So, how do you start thinking in terms of value? Identify high-value problems. Look around. What do people or businesses desperately need solved? Level up your skills. Invest in learning that sets you apart. Skills that save others time or make them money are always in demand. Build systems. If you can create something once that pays you repeatedly, like an online course, a digital product, or an automated business, you've moved from trading time to building value. Remember, you can never hustle your way to wealth if your income is tied only to hours. The rich break that chain by focusing on value creation, not just effort. Here's the thing about the wealthy. They're not reckless gamblers, but they're also not paralyzed by fear. They understand that security is an illusion, and that real growth only happens when you take calculated risks. Most people stay in the safety zone, the secure job, the predictable routine, the fixed paycheck. But the rich know that those things can disappear overnight. Instead of clinging to security, they analyze opportunities, assess the risks, and act strategically. Take Sarah, a corporate employee I know. She spent years saving and finally invested in a small bakery franchise. She didn't just throw her money at it blindly. She researched the market, learned about operations, and consulted experts. Today, that bakery earns more than her corporate job ever did. Calculated risk isn't about being fearless. It's about preparation. The rich often ask, what's the potential upside? What's the worst-case scenario? Can I handle the risk if it fails? If the answers make sense, they act, because they know inaction is often the biggest risk of all. If you want to adopt this mindset, start small. Invest in a side hustle, try freelancing, or explore small investments. The goal isn't to gamble, but to grow your risk muscle so you can make smarter, bolder moves in the future. Here's something most people don't realize. The rich never stop learning. Average people often think, once I get a degree, I'm done. The wealthy know that skills compound like interest. They read books, take courses, hire mentors, and surround themselves with people smarter than they are. Think about it. Technology changes fast. Markets shift. Industries evolve. If your knowledge stays static, you fall behind. But if you keep growing, you stay relevant and valuable. Take Warren Buffett, for example. Despite being one of the richest men alive, he spends 80% of his day reading. Why? Because information and insight are the foundation of good decisions. Even small learning habits matter. Read 20 minutes a day, listen to podcasts, attend workshops, or network with people in your field. These micro investments stack up over time. And here's the kicker. Investing in your mind often has the highest ROI. Spend $200 on a course that teaches you a skill you can sell for $500 over and over again. That's how the rich think. So instead of saying, I can't afford to learn that, start asking, how can I afford to learn that? Knowledge isn't a cost, it's an asset. Scarcity thinking is one of the biggest traps holding people back. It's the belief that money, opportunities, and success are limited, and if someone else wins, you lose. The rich flip that script. They live in an abundance mindset, believing there's always more money to be made, more opportunities to explore, and more solutions to create. For example, someone with a scarcity mindset sees competition as a threat. Someone with an abundance mindset sees competition as proof that the market is thriving and that they can find their unique angle to stand out. Here's how abundance thinking changes your life. Instead of saying, I can't afford it, you start asking, how can I afford it? Instead of seeing failure as the end, you see it as a lesson. Instead of hoarding knowledge, you share it. Knowing collaboration often leads to greater opportunities. When you train your mind to see abundance, you stop making decisions from fear and start making them from confidence and possibility. And that shift, that's exactly what opens doors that stay closed to everyone stuck in scarcity. And finally, and this one is huge, the rich don't just work for money, they make money work for them. Most people rely solely on active income, their salary or wages. But the wealthy build passive income streams, money that flows in whether they're working or not. This could mean owning rental properties, investing in stocks, building businesses, or creating digital products. Whatever the method, the principle is the same. Let money earn while you sleep. Here's a simple example. Let's say you save $5,000 and invest it in dividend-paying stocks. Over time, that money grows and pays you without you lifting a finger. Scale that habit for years, and you'll have streams of income that support your lifestyle. The rich understand something most people don't. Your time is limited, but your money isn't. When you build assets that generate income, you buy back your time, and that's the ultimate freedom. Start small. Automate your savings, learn about investing, and put even tiny amounts to work. Over time, you'll see how powerful compound growth is.
Because in the end, wealth isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter and letting your money hustle for you.